Welcome to episode number 290 of the K-Pop Podcast.
Where we're ready to start our engines and go vroom.
Sure wish I didn't turn your mic up right before we started.
Dude, I forgot to grab my water. Vamp.
Oh my gosh.
Right at the start of the podcast.
How come you tested, wait till you guys hear the post-credits if you're listening to the audio. Tim's just talking normal, and then as soon as we start, he turns the volume up to 11.
Turn it up to 11.
Where are you going? Oh my gosh. He does all the prep after we've started.
Dude.
I don't understand what's happening.
It's a good podcast, like when nothing is set up properly.
Are you sure the camera looks all right? The table looks like it's at an 87-degree angle. Don't look at it again. Banter with me. Do you forget that this is an audio? Stop touching it, dude.
Good, Brett.
Oh, my gosh.
Great.
Well, thank you guys for hanging out with us.
Yep, this has been episode number 290.
I'm glad you did it just to switch up the joke a little bit.
Right. Sometimes you got to refresh.
Sometimes when I feel a little lonely.
I'm wearing the wrong hat. I'll be back.
What hat are you going to wear? I'm only wearing Keep Up merch in all our videos from now on.
That's self-indulgent, Brett.
No, it's self-love.
Not slub.
Ooh.
I don't think I want to eat slub.
Nah, bruv.
Dude, are you on the cusp?
The cusp?
The cusp.
The hot cusp.
I gotta see if I look good.
No, wait, the hot cusp.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's how Tim looks in the mirror.
Oh, yeah. I always go, oh, yeah.
I feel like I look fine. You
No.
showed it to me for 2 seconds.
There
You're
you
like,
go.
that's
You look good. No, you're good.
That's fine.
You're good.
Welcome-
you guys are looking good, too.
Yeah, you guys look great. Welcome to the Keep Up Podcast, where I'm Brett and Tim is Tim.
That's me.
We talk about all the things we consume, be it media or food. And we do that because we can do what we want, trolls.
We're getting to the point where trolls are coming out of the woodworks to attack us.
I mean, it's been like 2.
And they're coming out.
We give them too much attention.
We do. That's the thing.
But here's what happens. We get a comment, and I get curious. I respond to trolls in as genuine a manner as I can. I imagine I'm in person with them, right?
Right.
And the reason I do it is because it's my way of calling them out for being fake.
Right.
Because if anyone's been listening for more than like a week, you know that I think everyone on the internet is fake. Not everyone. That makes me sound like a conspiracy theorist.
All
but
of you guys.
some conspiracies, sit with it for a minute is all
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any specific conspiracies in mind. Can you think of a conspiracy?
The moon landing is fake.
Yeah, 9/11 being an inside job, it's a conspiracy, right?
Yep, that's one. Earth is flat.
Yep. Birds aren't real.
Birds are like government spies
Birds
or whatever.
are drones.
I feel like I don't hear them as often as I do.
Yeah.
There was the aliens being revealed.
Wait, what did you just say? I feel like I don't hear them as often as I do. Oh, that I actually see what you're saying.
Yeah, as often as I guess used to.
Like you feel like you hear them more often. Wait, are you saying you feel like you don't hear them as much now as you used to, or are you saying you don't realize how much you hear them?
The first one.
All right, cool.
Yeah. As a kid, I heard about them a lot.
Right.
As adults, no one talks about
Wait,
nothing.
really? Who the hell were you hanging out with as a kid? I didn't hear a lot of conspiracy theories.
That
as
was
a
what
kid.
you talked about in the schoolyard. I don't
Really?
know. It was like,
I was pretending to be Wolverine, and
well, there were like a lot of like video game, conspiracies and stuff.
I don't think that's the same.
But there was also like
Are you
aliens.
talking about like, is Reptile going to be in Mortal Kombat 4? Like what?
If Sonic was unlockable in Super Smash Bros.
That's very different than
Melee.
like, is the moon landing real?
It's a big thing when you're young. You gotta know if Sonic's in Smash, and then there's the rumors of the next Smash Bros. And it's like,
Right.
is this character gonna be in it?
Sure.
And there's, you type in this code, and you might be able to play as Pikachu upside down. And,
Sure, yeah.
There's just rumors.
I don't know if those are
and
conspiracies.
Dude.
Was it a conspiracy that Disney animators snuck in like dirty stuff?
That wasn't until I was older, like middle school.
But is that a conspiracy? What's a conspiracy? You don't know if it's true.
A conspiracy is like
Like, I know what it is, but define it.
It's like an idea or something that is given to you as a fact, but it's actually not the truth. So it's the fact that's not the truth, and there's actually another truth hidden behind.
It's a speculation.
Yeah, so right, the conspiracy is the act of speculating on the thing that may or may not be true.
Right. And what is quantum physics?
So when two atoms make
Fall
an
in
Eve,
love.
they make quantum.
I'm happy with both the routes we took on that
Yeah.
one. How's your week been?
It's been good. Been wicked busy on the ice cream truck.
Oh, yeah, ice cream.
Yeah,
I want ice cream right now. Can you go make me a sundae, actually?
Sure. I've been leaving the podcast a bunch anyway.
All right, see you later, dude.
I'm back.
All right.
Yeah, it was good ice cream. Yeah, no, it's been good. It's been just a lot of work and just wake up, work all day, come home, play games for 5 hours, fall asleep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty solid cycle.
Yeah, the human evolution.
Yes.
Yes.
The human evolution. Yes.
Yes.
You know what's weird is how I'm still kind of thinking about the troll thing.
Yeah.
How we have made, let's see. I was trying to figure out how to say this the other day. I still don't know if I can. But it's like we've made all hobbies kind of exhausted because they're all public. I feel like we've turned it into a thing where it's like people think it's not okay to have anymore because everything's become like the butt of a joke. Do you know what I'm saying? So,
like people playing video games, for instance.
there's a group, just like everybody, there's an audience for everything, right?
Yeah.
So there's a gaming community, there are music scenes, there's, there are film communities, like whatever, anything. And it's just gotten, I mean, it's always been this way, but now it's easier to like find your community. It gets really, really niche. The same way that all of those subcultures have been like made public and available and known to the world. I feel like just as many things that have been validated are now like hated by some other group. They're like, I'm so sick of anyone talking about video games. I'm so sick of anyone talking about film. Like everyone is the butt of a joke. And I don't mean it in I think everything kind of should be up for like a good roasting every now and then. Like there's comedy everywhere. So I don't mean it in like a stop making fun of people way. I mean, don't be a bully, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
And see, maybe I still can't put it into words, but I forget what I was watching something the other day and some comment on it was like, why does anyone think they can do this? Like, I'm so sick of people doing this. And I'm like, it's literally just like, they're just talking about a thing they either like or know about.
Yeah.
And it's not that weird that they do that.
And yeah, and that's like where everything boils down to is like, what is this person? Is it something that's going on in their life? Are they just sick of seeing everything? Like what compels them to make a comment to bring down people who are passionate and having fun with something they really love?
Yeah.
You know, and there isn't a clear answer, but it's just part of the internet. But to your point, where like they feel like they're the ones who have to like scrutinize it, or they think it's just the butt of the joke. What do they think is fun? Like, what do they not have fun?
Yeah, right.
Not doing anything.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like
right. Anybody who would say like, and I am slightly projecting because we got a comment along these lines, but I see them all the time where it's like, I'm so sick of this type of thing. I'm so sick of that type of thing.
Yeah.
And anytime it's like, and I get if it's like a style of video or whatever. Like I'm so sick of the. Have you seen the videos that are like, if only there was a page that only showed car crashes and it's like a video of a car crash.
Yeah.
And it's just a tactic to like, I'm so sick of if only there was a page posts.
Yeah.
But it's whatever.
right.
But
You don't comment on them and saying like, I hate
No.
your business. I hope your legs break while you're making this video. Like
yeah, exactly. But like, I don't know, when people come against like a whole hobby or a whole like subculture, that's weird to me. Because
Yeah.
I'm like, but it seems like I think it's an oversaturation thing. You know,
Maybe.
everybody sees everything all the time. So I don't know. I could be
Yeah, I
wrong.
mean, having the phone in your pocket and always available to watch everything all the time, it does rot our brains to the point where
my brain, dude.
your brain, our brains collectively, the oversaturation for everything too. You know, too much of a good thing is bad, becomes bad.
It's true because a positive and a negative makes a negative
You're right.
if you multiply it.
Sure. But I don't think there's any harm in talking about bad comments because we can make content out of it. We can laugh at
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
They're giving us more things to talk about.
Yeah, I agree. I know. And even that's a weird thing because it's like, I know, like, ignore trolls and stuff like that, but it is a certain mentality that people carry on the internet. So I like talking about that stuff.
Yeah.
But then it's like, oh, it's too much attention. But then it's like, no, but why are people like this?
Right.
And,
It's a fine line to walk because, right, you don't want to give them all the attention because that's what they're looking for.
and you don't want to be defensive.
Right. You don't. Exactly.
I don't ever want to react to something like that in a defensive manner because that's when you're like, no, you're stupid. Like, that's the best you can come up with when you're like reacting. But I like to look at it and just be like, why? And maybe some people are just goofing off on the internet. But I think a lot of times comments like that are legit. They feel like upset and frustrated about what they're seeing. And I'm like, why? Why does it bother you that much?
Why is it like you and I talking about just some random video games or whatever make you so angry?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what triggers them.
Maybe they want to play the game with us.
Yeah. Maybe they're just like, man, I wish I could be friends with these guys.
Yeah. Oh, I wish if we had like a big enough platform, I would totally reach out to like haters and be like, play a video game with us on a stream.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be such a fun
No,
series.
you couldn't because they would scream obscenities and...
Well, then we just kick them off. My theory is if we did that, if we had this is the reason I say like a bigger platform, although I guess it wouldn't really matter, but my theory is they would get on with us and it would be fine. Like we would just hang out.
I don't know. I think you have too much faith in people.
I don't think most of these people are really that way.
I think what will happen is we'll get them on stream and they'll just go nuts. They'll start saying crazy things to get us more in trouble because they already like don't like what we're doing. So it's more profitable because if you do something live and they say, the N word, that's it. That's it. You're whatever platform you're on, it's dead. But
if we kick them off,
I think there may be some like grace or there might be like some level of forgiveness. Obviously we're not saying it, but just like ban things like Twitch. You can't just like openly say that on a stream in general, regardless of who's there.
Right.
You like
sounds like you're speaking from experience, Tim.
Dude, I can't control my mouth, but no, I think you're inviting them. I like the idea because, I think
you don't. Just say you don't like it. You don't have to take the roundabout.
I am giving you...
Take the first exit that says,
creative
you know what?
criticism.
I don't like that idea.
Unlike what they're doing, where they're telling you you just suck for what you're doing. I'm saying it's possible. I just don't trust them enough.
Yeah, I don't trust them either.
When you open the door to your platform to be like, hey, here you can chat. You're right. I think 99% of them are totally going to be like just normal dudes. And they're like, probably don't even go on like talk on social media, so they'll be quiet and it'll be dumb. But
that would be kind of funny. But like, how good of a series would that be if it was like, here's the comment this person left us, and now here they are. Like, dude, I would watch that.
No,
all
I think
day.
it's great. You could totally make a good video out of it. But
Tim doesn't want to do that. So if you guys
I don't want to do it
that
live. I want to do a video.
That's a fair idea. Like, oh my gosh, the light is falling. It's fine, though.
It's a big wound world.
Big wound world. Our podcast set is just
falling apart.
Slowly falling to pieces. We have two different mics because one stopped working. Tim's...
What are you doing?
The shirt's weird,
What? The shirt?
The little cover boy.
Yeah.
And the pop filter.
Yes.
It wasn't all the way down. And one of our lights had a hinge break.
Yep.
So it is leaning like a sad Pixar lamp right now. And
you paused it in the middle of it, like looking down. Like it's not continuing anymore, but
I think it's still looking all right.
Yeah,
anyways,
it's still doing its best.
We're still doing the podcast.
Yeah, we're still doing our best, Brett.
Here we are.
How do you feel? We're halfway through the year right now.
Are we? Yeah, 6 months, I guess, huh?
Yeah, almost exactly. How do you feel about the state of the Keep Up right now?
The Keep Up.
The Keep Up.
Didn't I ask you this recently? Or no, I think goals. We talked about goals for the year. And you ended up talking about the Keep Up.
Yeah, because we had some goals.
How do I feel?
Things we wanted to hit and just as far as how do you feel about us?
How do I feel about us? All right, so that's a good question because I think about this almost daily.
Yeah,
because I love our podcast and I think so.
It's going to be rough when he starts with "I love our podcast,"
but
no,
it's really nothing about the podcast. I guess the thing that I think about, well, it's not good to only say the like. It's not even a negative thing, but I feel great about what we've done this year. I feel like I love the way our YouTube channel looks and everything, which maybe that, I don't know if that sounds silly to anyone who's listening, but we've been doing this for a really long time and it's been really hard for us to be consistent with making what we want to. I honestly think some of the visions that we have for the channel and for the podcast are like really, really fun and entertaining and could be really amazing. But without, money and time, it's just hard to make the vision what you want it to be. And I'm of the mind at this point where I'm like, I'm all for like DIY, punk rock everything, make it work as best as you can.
Yep.
But if limitations are going to make it just below good rather than good enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there are just certain things that like if we piece together a rough video with bad audio, it would not translate as well as it would if we took the extra, like a full day to film the thing. For example, that's vague, whatever. All that being said, I'm stoked that like the podcast is looking good. We've put out a couple peripheral like reviews and food videos and stuff on the YouTube channel, which I think is really fun. I do like still often wish I don't know. I don't even know how to.
Go ahead, Brett. Say it. You're in a safe place.
I want to do. No, we're on the internet. There's nothing safe about this.
That's the thing. We've already been attacked by the trolls. There's nothing left.
There's nothing left.
It's nothing to worry about.
Sometimes I feel like we're not. I want to do something different. Like not different than what we're doing.
Yeah.
But it's very easy when you're in a certain sphere. So like I'm on YouTube pretty regularly, and I'm like, there are videos like ours.
Yep.
And our videos are like other people's. You know what I mean? Like there are tons of food videos and all that kind of stuff. It's very easy when you're in a certain sphere to take inspiration from your peers, which I don't think is bad. But I always have this thing, and I'm sure a lot of like artists and creative people have this, where it's like, what's the thing that we can do? And I know that we are the uniqueness. Like any podcast that's like ours, where it's just like banter or talking about whatever subject, the personalities I think are like
that's what makes it unique.
100%. Like you could have 10 podcasts about that only cover
horror games.
Yeah, horror games, and you're gonna find one that you prefer, and you're gonna have a few that you're like, if I'm all caught up on that one, I'm gonna listen to these other ones. You know. And then there's some that you're like, not really for me, just because either you don't gel with the. I think this is interesting too. There's a couple YouTubers that I follow that they're always getting crap about like how they come across as like jerks or ingenuine or whatever. And I literally follow them because I think they're so like honest and compassionate in the way that they talk. So it's just people come across differently. So I understand there's that uniqueness, but just creatively, there's a lot of times where I'm like, I wish we had like a thing that people came to the YouTube channel for. Like when we were doing the VHS mining, that felt like a really cool niche. And I know other people have done it, but I don't think it's a very high traffic lane.
No, and that's where you can thrive on YouTube, is be very niche, Yeah,
and we always had a hard time doing that because we're very diverse and we like doing a lot of different things.
Right.
And so that's why I went with the whole media thing. I mean, like the whole of it. And I think we've made our elbow room on the podcast and made it entertaining, everything. But I do have moments now where I'm like, I wonder if we just stuck to, I don't know, just something more specific. I guess that's what I've been thinking, at least the past like couple weeks, because we've been doing like the reviews on YouTube, like the K-pop reactions and stuff, and that's really fun.
Yeah.
But and I'm probably a big part of the problem, because even those we've done too, and I'm like, I kind of want to do something different.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Well, I think that's the game, is like you have to balance doing things that get views versus things you want to do.
Right.
And you have to find a way to blend the two, because you don't want to just make videos because they're popular.
No.
That's
I
because
agree.
people get trapped in that and they hate it. Like after a year of making those videos, they're just like, oh, I don't want to do this. This is not what I want to be known for. And so, that's like our K-pop videos. I think they're fun.
I do too.
But they're not, I don't think they encapsulate even like a percentage of what we do.
I think you're right. I felt that way about the last one. What was it? Seo Taiji. I could be saying it wrong, but it was a fun video and had a couple moments that felt very like genuinely the keep up.
Yep.
But technically those reaction videos are kind of new. We haven't done anything like that. So it does feel a little bit different. And Yeah, I think you're right. It's like this is a portion of it, but
Right.
it doesn't capture like everything that is the podcast or when we did like the full length VHS videos or
Yep. And I think that's where it comes into play as far as our content, because the content game in general sucks. I hate that we have to
rough,
make
man.
we have to make a short for YouTube that's shorter than the TikToks and what's the other place? Instagram, where we have to, we're limited on time. So we have to make like one video and then make short versions for both YouTube and then the other two platforms.
Yeah.
Instagram's a fire, like a trash pit. There's just...
It's rough. It's real weird.
You can't grow on that at all.
Yeah.
TikTok is it's all over the place, especially right now because, the app might disappear or whatever. So people are kind of trying to find a new app.
Yeah.
We don't utilize Twitter/X. And
true.
I think we could do pretty well on that. We just have to sit down and do it. And then Threads is like whatever. But YouTube's tough because it's always changing.
Yeah.
It's always so. What worked for us, a year ago might not work now. What worked for us a month ago might not work now.
True.
So it's tough. It's tough to figure out exactly what can work. But I think we did hit on a couple of little gold mines with the VHS videos, the ones that have been successful, the board game videos. I think us Senate when we did that one.
That was really cool. We did a YouTube video that was the world's oldest board game, and we just played the game. It was like an hour long.
Yeah.
And the video did really well. Like I remember you took forever to edit it. Like I don't mean you took forever, but it was
It was a big video.
It was an arduous task to edit that. And I remember feeling bad because I was like, man, editing a video that long, and we're probably not going to get any views. And it was one of our best performing videos.
Yeah.
And I did not think that would be something people are into.
No, we did it more as just like you had the game, we had the idea, we played it, and it was fun. I mean, because there were some like epic moments in that.
Yeah, it was a great game. It's very good.
It worked pretty well.
Probably one of the best Senate games played in history. Yeah.
On video.
Yeah.
So then we need to figure out, okay, what worked with that? What worked with the VHS? Is it the subject material? Is it us? Is it because we've been posting a ton of like short clips from the podcast and stuff, and they range all in views, but they're all generally under what all those other videos have done. As far as just general viewership. There are some, like, again, recently with the K-pop videos, those have been pretty big compared to everything else. So that's where I'm standing. Like, I love the content we're making because we're utilizing the podcast much more, and it's very much what we do. We do the podcast is our main thing, but we want to do YouTube and all these other things. Yeah. Just the podcast is what is like the weekly thing we can get out that works great. And then splitting that up into videos and stuff. All good. But yeah, I think figuring out what kind of videos we can get out and which work well is definitely, I think, where we are right now, I feel like.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll say too, just to further answer your initial question, I am stoked that at the beginning of this year, we set a goal to stay consistent for at least like 6 months to a year with just posting the video podcast and stuff. And we've been doing that.
Right.
And I think what's happening is it's giving me a little insight into how our content comes across. So when we do cut up one of our moments from the full length podcast, I think we do just come across like any other podcast that I scroll by because I'm like, oh, I've seen a million podcasts like this. And I'm like, oh, shoot, I'm fine with like playing the game. Like, I don't think we're so unique that we can't be compared to anyone else or anything like that. But I was like, oh, this doesn't do the podcast justice in my opinion. But obviously I'm one perspective, but it just kind of gave me some insight like, I don't know. If it was all, no, that's another unfinished thought. Never mind. I can't get either of those out and have it be what I want it to be, but.
To save you, I find, that's the thing. I think our content that's in those videos is great. I think like the things we're talking about.
I think so too, yeah.
And that's a big part of it is being proud of the things we do because we do this podcast for, it's part hobby, part for fun, part so we can spend time with each other.
Yeah,
There's many reasons why we do this on top of entertaining you guys. Of course.
I don't want to undermine the fact that like bringing levity to anyone who decides to like watch our stuff and consume our content, like huge value in that. We know we have a regular audience and you guys are awesome. So it's nothing. It's funny because I want to reach more people and I want to grow naturally. Like I would love to do that. But I don't want it to ever sound like we're not grateful. Well, Tim's pretty ungrateful, but like for me, I don't ever want to sound ungrateful for what we have because I am.
Much.
I know that our lane works so much better with everything works better with community.
Yes.
And I think we are communal beings. So when you can find kind of your people, it just kind of changes the content in general. So
For sure.
For the positive, I think. So you were saying something though. I didn't mean to.
I think I lost it while you were talking about
you were talking about the value in what we do.
Oh yeah, and more so of just like
the content's good. We like that.
Yeah. Nope, I totally lost it.
Let's see. Where did I cut you off? You were like, there is value. We get to spend time with each other. We get to create. And then you were like, and of course the audience.
The audience, of course. It's dead.
Sorry, man.
DOA. No, it's okay.
I derailed you to talk to our audience for a second.
It's fine. It's good to talk to the audience and let them know they're important because they are.
Yeah.
But I'm so far off the rails.
I felt like it was going to be a really big point, and I was just like, nah.
But that's the best part is we can do genuine moments like this too. Like,
and
we can get confused and we can forget things, and that's okay.
Often.
And I don't know if that is a thing. It's probably not unique to us, but I think we're we're more relaxed in what we create, anyways.
I think so. I mean, when we decided to do that, because for anyone who hasn't listened to all 289 episodes or whatever. I used to go through and like edit certain things out throughout the podcast. And then we decided at one point, like, nah, let's just do it straight run through.
Yep.
And I'm happy to say that we've gotten feedback specifically about that. Like, I love that you guys just like do it.
Yes.
And I know, like you just said, it's not like we're the only ones who do that, but I'm glad we've been able to accomplish doing that because I just think it's fun. Like, I have fun listening back to it and I forget what happened on the show and I'm like, we just let that happen.
I can't wait till I get to the point where I'm ready to re-listen to all the podcasts and be like, oh my God, we talked about this. And
it's wild to me that you don't, because my regular experience is hearing it again immediately afterwards. So it is funny.
I don't like listening to myself though.
No?
I don't mind listening to you. Can we do an edited version where it's just you?
I'm just talking to myself.
Just for me.
Let's put out 3 episodes a week.
Yeah.
It's both of us, then one with just you and one with just me. It's like how a lot of musicians, a lot of artists are putting out like a single and then the instrumental and then all on one like EP or whatever and then an acapella and then a slowed down version and then a sped up version. It's so funny.
That's crazy. So if you get the soundtrack and it's like 40 songs and it's 10 songs split up in 5 different
4
ways.
tracks just like chopped to pieces.
Dude, that's disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the other thing that I think of sometimes, did I fully answer? I feel good about where we're at, and I feel like it's starting to reveal stuff to me that I'm like, oh, I kind of want to try something else, but I don't exactly know how.
Yeah.
Yet. But another thing that is, I think, an ingredient to that whole like thought stew that I'm throwing around in my brain is you don't throw stew. I don't know why I was like that was just a lot.
Stew, right?
Yeah, I did. But I said throwing around. Should have said like stirring around maybe.
No, it could be like it's a fancy stew and you gotta like. Yeah.
I'm holding it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. One of the ingredients is I do have moments where I'm like, I don't think everything has to be like world changing or anything, but I'm like, we're just eating food or we're just talking about like. I'm trying to think. There was another thing that I know we tried, and I thought about it, and I was like, it's kind of just like a throwaway thing that we did, and I don't mean it to be insulting to us or to you or to like anything.
Dude, I'm so offended.
But you know what I mean? There are moments where I'm like, oh, this is just like, it's kind of throwaway content, and I kind of want like I'm like, what is the keep up catalog going to be? And so far, it's just everything we've done.
Yeah.
And I'm cool with that. But I think that's part of when I think about like, oh, if we were to transition into anything, still remain the keep up, but like hone our focus, which I feel like is what we're working on, or working towards. Like, what would the lane be? Like, what would the thing be that's like, oh, those guys do this.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like, certain channels for doing certain types of videos and things like that.
Yeah, it's like I guess I want to feel like we're contributing to something, even to the degree of like, I've seen some like food reviewers that like, they're just reviewing food, but like they're pretty big in their sphere.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about like, I want to be famous for whatever we're doing or whatever, but it's because they like contribute something. Like their personality mixed with their thing that they're doing.
Right.
Is like, oh, this is a positive impact kind of thing.
Like Keith Lee. Like he
Exactly.
he reviews foods and he helps people out by being so popular and saying if something's good or bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like a service. And that is like that's where our content's kind of all over the place because a lot of our videos rely on people liking us. Because, like, you know, well, the ones that, what I've seen is the ones that have content that's interesting and us on top of it. You know, like Senate, like the VHS tapes.
Yes.
The ones that have done well. It's not only us. And I think the ones that are only about us, like when we do like a food review or whatever, sometimes it could come across as like, okay, the food's not interesting. But like these guys are cool, but people don't care to see the food, so they don't click on the video.
Yeah.
So it's tough. It's tough to figure out that balance because our strong suit, like we've said, is each other, is our personalities. Is like that is the reason why people will like stay. We hope, anyways. That's what we're trying to achieve. But I agree with you. Like finding that specific topic that people want to chat about and see while also enjoying us. And then when we do the other content that feels like throwaway, won't be as throwaway because people like us.
Right. That's a really good way to put it. Because it's like, then I know at least people want to hang out.
Right.
And
so that's why I find a bunch of value in our older stuff because people we'll find that niche, we'll find that thing that I think people really like, and then they'll be like, "Oh, what else have these guys done?" Yeah, and then they go to the Patreon and see that there's we have 36 like food challenge videos.
I think so, yeah.
We have a bunch of bonus podcasts, and that's because that's all about us. Like we definitely talk about the food and like we eat things, but you're subscribing to the Patreon because you like us and you want to support us, and that is more an extension of us. You know, the Cricket City podcast is way more chill. Like we don't talk about what we're watching.
This actually feels like
this
one.
This
feels like a Cricket City
This is
episode.
a Cricket City. Which and that's the other thing is I don't mind doing podcasts like this at all. Like,
I love it. Yeah.
Like our format has always been like we'll just talk about what we're watching and everything, which is all still really good. But it's just interesting when we go into tangents like this and we talk because what we've been talking for 30 minutes or something.
A little over 30. Yeah.
So I'm always curious if this is interesting or not, and I think it is. We usually get good feedback when it's more like this too.
Yeah, you know, in regards to feedback, that's the other thing that is strange is, you know, you listed all the platforms that are like, it's very weird. Like we've been getting really high view counts and decent interaction as far as like likes go, but not a lot of comments. So I don't really know how people are feeling about the content, which is fine. It's, you know, it's our content. We're just going to keep doing what we're doing. But that part is interesting when you're at the sort of like level that we're at, where it's like, you know, we've been doing it for a long time. Our content, like, I think looks and sounds decent, but we don't have a big audience at all. So it's like we're not getting regular feedback.
Right. And it's tough to figure out exactly what needs to change because, like, I always think if there is like a stagnant level, something needs to change. And since we've been posting more consistently, got new lighting, new mics, all that stuff, like changed. Just in general, we have certainly seen a bump.
Oh, yeah.
It hasn't been huge, not like life-changing or anything, but it's definitely been a significant increase because we've changed this stuff. So, so to figure out how we need to make our content so we can keep going up is where I think where we are right now is trying to find that perfect
that's how
point.
it feels to me. Like without, you know... It always feels like a fine line to me because I think it is good to want to grow something and improve. And that's what I want to do. I want to grow and improve. I don't think it's good to do that with the intention of like, with the goal of like fame.
Right.
You know what I mean? And being in the arts and entertainment space, that's a really fine line. And it might even sound ridiculous to some people to be like, well, shouldn't your goal to be like, have the biggest audience on the planet? And it's like, that would be rad. But I think having that as the intention is what forces you out of a creative lane. Right. Because then you're literally just chasing what's popular, you know? Yep. Because that's the thing, like when we did the XXL video, I had the idea because that video was getting like the highest numbers of any music video. If you look it up, like I can't even imagine how many views that video is at now. Yeah. So I was like, oh, this would be cool to jump onto now because we do reviews anyways, so let's try that. Yeah. And then I looked and there were, I mean, sure enough, tons and tons of reaction videos. Yeah. So then I was like, all right, well, that was like a one-off thing, but let's do some more K-pop reactions and stuff. And so that to me, I'm like, okay, am I chasing what am I doing here? Because they're strategizing. I don't think strategizing is bad. But I don't know. These are just the things I think about, and I like talk about them out loud. And I'm like, am I doing this?
It's like, is this right? And it's hard because, like you said, it is a very fine line of like chasing the fame versus chasing what's creative, and you have to find that happy medium.
Yeah.
And I think the K-pop reaction is that to a degree. I think, depending on what videos we watch, might be more towards the growth aspect,
right,
as opposed to like just us chatting about it, because I know nothing about K-pop other than the videos I've seen at this point, and so it is educational in that regard, and we are chatting about it and cracking jokes and stuff, so there is the keep up aspect, but I think those videos did well because the content of the music video, on top of like our reaction, of course, but people just want to see people react to the video.
Right.
As opposed to just us making our own idea and putting it out there and people like, oh, I like what they're thinking.
Yes, exactly. That is the difference.
And that's where it becomes tough because like we can do a million videos on like cool ideas. We did like sketch shows. We did, what was that one? The sketchbook, the Keep Up sketchbook.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, fun idea. We only did one, so maybe if we did more, it might have evolved.
Well, that's the thing. Like, that's exactly the type of thing. Like, if we became that on our YouTube channel, which again, if anyone hasn't seen it, we had an idea to do. Let's see, was it make a short in an hour?
Yeah, so we gave us, make it in an hour. Gave ourselves like 20 to 30 minutes to write it, and then 20 to 30 minutes to film it.
Yeah.
And then editing wasn't
Editing didn't
that.
count.
Yeah.
But yeah, we set ourselves a timer, and I thought it was a really fun video, like format-wise and everything, too. And if that's all we did, in theory, they would get better and better, and that, that could have caught on, but we jump around due to like time and all kinds of stuff. But
and some things we just didn't get around to because like go back to the VHS videos. We did 3 of those and they all did really well. And then we took like a year off. There's a big year gap between. So I forgot what happened. I don't even know.
Do you know what year those came out?
Let
me see if I can find them.
COVID might have affected those, but
no way. I think it was way before COVID.
It was 3 years ago that they came out.
Seriously?
Yep. Yeah, it says it on the video when you check it out.
Maybe you're right. Maybe it was COVID.
Because we weren't doing a lot for a while.
3 years ago.
Yep.
What the heck?
So when you click on it, it does show a date. At least on mobile. I don't know what it does on YouTube, but scroll down a little bit.
Yeah. Is it in here?
Maybe somewhere.
July.
Was that me?
Yeah, you were buzzing again. July 24th, 2020.
July 2020. So, yeah.
So we were in the pandemic.
We were. It wasn't maybe as crazy at that point.
No, July would have been because shutdown was just in March.
Yeah. Well, we did PAX, right? We did PAX and then it shut down.
No. Oh, you know what? It's probably the reverse. We filmed these in 2020 because we had the time.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense.
Because all 3 of these. Yeah, 2020 and 2021 was when we did all 3 of these, and then we were back to life as normal. Yeah, all of these. That's so funny. They all did better than like any of us.
I've been saying it for years. Time, I think, is our biggest enemy.
Always has been. Always has been.
I think because when we first started this, we had, we would dedicate a full day to it. We would start, at like whatever time, early in the morning, plan things all day, have lunch, film the rest of the day. Like finding time, I think would allow us to hit the things that we're striving for.
You know what else it is we juggle the podcast and YouTube. It's not both.
Right.
So a lot of YouTubers are just YouTubers.
Right.
A lot of podcasters are all their content is around their podcast.
And usually it's they grow on YouTube first, then podcast after.
Right.
I don't think it happens where it's the podcast and then there's the YouTube.
Not
supplement.
often. And I'm not saying that they don't cross over, but like I think A Beard Meets Food. I don't know when they started, when he started his podcast.
Right.
But he's way bigger on YouTube. Even still, I don't think his podcast does the numbers that his videos do. But yeah, it's like you said, big on YouTube typically.
Yeah.
So that's a big part of it too. Is immediately the time we have goes to podcasting and stuff.
Right.
And because that YouTube content isn't the most engaging, I guess I don't know.
I think our content's good.
I don't mean the content. I just mean like people seem to engage more with our like food videos, reaction videos.
I get told all the time the food stuff is what they love to watch.
That's the stuff. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, because I don't generally hear much outside of food, and it's mostly food. Like our Sonic video came out. It was just like people really enjoyed it.
Yeah. See, I like that. I like that lane, but then I'm like, what does the keep up do there? And I think we could do a combination. You guys let us know. I know at least 30 to 40 of you are here with us every single week.
Right.
Send us a message. I'll put up a story on our Instagram or something that has something you can respond to. But a mix of something.
I like touched it for a second.
Sorry, man. It wasn't happening earlier, but Tim's mic buzzes whenever he touches the stand. It's just part of our current...
Our new setup.
Yeah. The Lord is testing us, and things are just slowly falling apart. I will remain steadfast. So we could do a mix where it's the VHS videos, but there's a food review during it. It's just dinner and a movie.
Oh, right.
It doesn't have to be a whole meal or anything, but it's a food review. It could be a restaurant. It could be a snack. And we're running VHS videos and reacting while we do it.
Yeah.
Like something like that. I've never seen that.
That is right. No, that's something that's unique. I think that is a combination of things that people really liked. But also, we could just do normal VHS videos and food reviews as well.
But is that... I don't know if that...
is enough?
Not even enough, but it's like... Why not make it our own thing? Why not be in the realm where it's like, yeah, these guys... Because I feel like the people who like food video... Because then every video, you know what you're getting. You're getting both.
Yeah.
Rather than, are they going to post a VHS video this week or are they going to post a food video?
And do combined. I think the only thing is we might be shooting ourselves in the foot because then we're taking away the possibility of making more content about two separate things.
I'm not saying we can't do one-offs.
Yeah.
But I feel like if that's what we did every week, our planning goes like way down because it's like, this is the type of video we're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I think even one video a week would be crazy to do.
That would be unbelievable.
Yeah, yeah.
If we could do that on top of the podcast, I would be like, that's our goal for the second half of the year.
That is, to get one video. I say realistically,
if we could
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Every 2 weeks.
If we could do bi-weekly... I don't know by when. And that's only if you like that idea. It sounds like you hate it, even though it's brilliant. But
I think it's a great idea. I just don't want to only do that.
No, but remember, like, choosing a lane doesn't mean you can't veer off it every now and then. You know?
I don't
you can switch lanes on the highway, Tim. I know you haven't driven, but when you're on the highway.
I have driven. I took all of driver's ed.
You drove into that neighbor's yard one time. That doesn't
but that
count.
wasn't during driver's ed. That was when mom took me, and she went, and that was that.
Amazing. The sound everyone wants to hear while they're in the driver's seat.
The gasp of doom.
But, like, if we did that.
Yeah.
It's like, because there's a thing, think of every YouTuber that you love. There's a thing you're expecting from them.
Right.
And I think us being there is the thing you expect from us. But I think you have to, you got to plant a certain seed and then, the branches grow out from there kind of thing.
So it would be formatted like a VHS video, but we only watch one tape?
Is there a way you could set it up on here?
Guys,
this is the most just conversational planning episode ever. This is what you're getting this week.
45 minutes in.
45 minutes in.
I think I had 3 movies to talk about, games.
I hope you guys don't mind. It's so funny because I love episodes like this of podcasts I listen to, and this is interesting to me, but some people are like, are you going to I don't even know what the title is of this. What is it going to be?
Literally, you guys just talk about your YouTube channel for an hour.
Talk about how
you don't review nothing.
You've been doing it forever, and you don't have a lot of followers. It probably sounds so, self-indulgent and
I hope it's good. I don't know.
I do too. In my mind, it's just inside baseball kind of thing.
Yeah, and they get to see the state of what we're thinking about our own content.
And then these one-offs where we're talking to each other about what you guys are thinking, and it's very...
See, that's why we need input, because we need to know, is this
meta.
cool? Is this bad?
Even that I feel funny about. I'm I feel like people are like, do you need our input, or can you just do what you want to do? Because I do feel that way. I'm not I don't think it's fair to tell your audience, you guys need to tell us what to do.
True.
I'm just thinking and I'm not necessarily saying you're saying that.
No, you're allowed to say that I'm saying that.
I don't know.
Make mistakes,
were you saying that?
There's so many white things across the table. No. I like to throw it out to the audience if we're doing something good or bad. Letting just as a good rule of thumb, let creators know.
And I totally, and I assume, and I think you've said this before, the audience that we have likes what we do.
Yeah,
but it sounds like we have gotten the feedback. They like food videos more.
Yes.
We've gotten the feedback on YouTube.
The things I have heard specifically, food challenges, mostly food challenges and food videos. So after we did the Sonic IHOP one, I was asked about
where are you going next?
Yeah, Kung Fu Tea. Kung Fu Tea, and I think that was a comment, but like more video game themed foods and like, which is, it totally makes sense. Like that video was fun to film. That was, that's interesting because we were going out and doing stuff. So I think there's plenty of things we can do. It's just finding the time to do it.
Yep.
We don't script anything. I don't know if that's a detriment to us or not, but from what I hear, literally everybody scripts stuff. I think what we do is fine without a script.
That's the thing that I'm most proud of is that we don't script anything because I don't.
Never scripted. Maybe we scripted one thing.
Yeah, the sketchbook that we did in 15 minutes
right.
on camera.
Yeah, but we literally just like do it off the cuff, and I think that's a cool, unique thing. I don't know if it hurts us in like the content, but I don't think our content suffers. Like we don't.
No, I don't. It doesn't play like that to me.
Right. No, I don't think so either. But it's just something I think about. Like I'm in that Creator Royale thing.
Yes.
And one of the big conversations is like people scripting videos, and they're getting compliments on their scripting. I never scripted any of my videos.
Right.
They haven't said specifically like, hey, your scripting's great. I think mine comes off as just like genuine what I'm doing. But it is just funny to see how different some of these videos are where people like script it.
Yeah.
And I still think like our videos are great without a script.
I think so too.
Because sometimes the script can make it feel boring, I guess.
Boring, a little less genuine.
Yeah, more so like you're reading off, but people can do it in a good way. It just depends how you come across.
It depends on the kind of video too. Like our goal is to come across as like us. Genuinely chilling as possible. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, just us. And I think if we scripted it just knowing us, it would be because this is literally naturally us.
Right.
Like scripting it like, would change the entire dynamic.
We don't even put on a show for the like podcast. Like I don't have a podcast voice. Maybe I'm a little bit louder, but
yeah, I think there's a projection. But I don't know. That's just
I'm not any different. Like once the mics are off, we're still talking.
He's
like
the
this.
worst. As soon as the mics turn off, he's like,
I start punching you, and I'm like, why are we doing this?
He's like, why do I let you podcast with me?
This is sick.
I think the one thing we could benefit from, were we going to do like VHS / food review kind of thing is just an outline, but mostly for editing. Like, cause there are times, and you guys wouldn't always necessarily know this, but there are times for YouTube videos where it's like we cut a bunch of stuff because we're unscripted. We start it, talk for a minute and be like, man, let's try that again. And like, just because, so I think an outline might be helpful, but I can't imagine you remembering a script.
Dude, not only would I forget the script, I would so go off of it every time. I'm like, no, that's a stupid line. I'll do a new one. Other thing.
We've tried it with our promos for like the specials and stuff.
Yes.
Oh, we got to do the specials this year. Here's what I
should we have write it down?
I mean, we're going to record it on this podcast that's going to go out.
Yeah, but
I
don't listen.
Yeah, that's true. I'll make a clip out of it and send it to you.
Thank you. That's all I need.
So maybe this is our new like mid-year review that we do.
Do I get a raise?
Do I get paid at all? Wait,
no.
A raise from what?
What?
You actually get paid from content. I don't want to hear it.
I do. Not a lot, but
Tim takes 100% of the keep up royalty.
No, just Patreon money.
Is that where it's been going?
Pa-ching.
So we've stayed consistent with the podcast. I want to keep doing that.
Right.
What would be sick is if even for 2 of the remaining 6 months of this year, we did. Are you down to try the like? We can talk more about this afterwards. You guys are in it with us. Are you down to try the like dinner and a movie concept?
I think it's fun.
Think that could be cool.
Yeah, we had to figure out something to eat, and so we're just grabbing a random VHS tape, or are we reviewing like a movie?
No, I think a random VHS tape.
Yeah,
I think we combine our VHS because then it's like one of us is trying the food,
right? Well, the other one's like controlling the tape, and I think that's
we could call it.
Oh. Dude, we can't. We have to make the video before this podcast comes out.
I gotta cut that. I'm literally gonna beep that out.
You should.
I'm gonna beep that out.
That's good stuff.
What time? Almost 50 minutes. I'm literally gonna beep that out.
You should.
That's pretty good, right?
Yeah. Yes. What else would we put though? We would put like what we're watching and the food, like.
Yeah, so it would be that the review. I think the main focus of it is the review. Like Kung Fu Tea was the recommendation.
Yeah.
So we do that. shout out to whoever gave the recommendation, and that's the review while we pop in a random
VHS tape, but have that like playing.
Sounds pretty fun.
I think it's there.
You guys let us know. I know we've heard a lot about like you want us to do more food, and I like doing food videos, and I'm not trying to like reinvent the wheel. If you guys want to just like see us try new stuff or do challenges, like I'm not against that.
Oh, he's against it. He quit it on the last
on Cricket City. I will say with food capacity challenges, I wouldn't want to do them like every single week.
Brett retired.
I just have a messed up connection with food, and if I binge eat one day, the rest of the week's I'm gonna be like Jabba the Hutt by Friday evening. But I'm working on it, But I'm totally for doing one every now and then, and I think I get creatively antsy, where I'm like, okay, I'm in this lane, but like, what am I doing? I've done it with music too, where I'm like listening to stuff that's like popular, and I'm like, I could do something like that, and then I'm like, nah, that's not how I create.
Right.
Like it's not. And I'm not saying I don't want any of this to sound like shade to anyone who does create a type of video, because I actually think it's very cool that there are these like genres of content that we can talk about now. But I'm like, what's our spin on it?
Right.
What is it, Tim?
What makes people more interested than just two guys talking about whatever we're talking about?
Yeah. So you guys let us know. I'm curious, but also we're gonna do what we want to do.
Yeah.
And hope you like it. Should we try to review some stuff in 9 minutes?
I have at least one thing I gotta talk about, because it's a curse that I can't escape.
Is there anything else you want to talk about here?
I don't think so. I think so. Just to end cap all this, halfway year review.
Yep.
My take, anyways.
Yes.
I am proud of where we are.
Me too.
I think the consistency has been great.
Yes.
I love the look of our channel. I love the videos coming out.
Awesome.
Consistency across the board is great. What we need to work on is time.
Yep.
I think we just need to find either a full day or like do one less podcast a week and do a film day or whatever we got to do.
Oh, that's interesting.
Like one less podcast a month to do something else. I don't know. Some or do 2 podcasts back to back in a day. Like we used to do.
It's also possible.
So we need to like find a way to get more time, because right now, and we've said it a million times, we get 1 day a week where we record from like, between 4 and 6 p.m. And then 6 to whatever time we end. And then, Brett has work and I stream. We just can't find time otherwise. So timing is the big thing. I want us to figure out time. I also agree, if we can get a video out, I'm going to set the expectations to at least a video a month.
Sure.
Which I think we've been, at least a big video, I should say, like, because our content
outside
right
of
now,
the podcast,
right? Outside of like cut up clips and things like that, I want like a video, a thick boy video.
Me too.
So I want at least one a month to give us a lot of time to figure it out. Patreon's been great. I honestly don't think we need to change much on there, unless people want more stuff there. But yeah, so I'm proud of where we are, and I think time, and if we can get a thick boy video out once a month,
at
least until the end of the year. And then maybe specials. I want us to tackle specials again.
Yes, and I really want to do the creep up.
For sure. I think that is a genius idea.
If you guys don't know what that is, you're going to have to wait, but it's going to be awesome because I want to make it happen. But those would be my goals. And I like this because this feels like we stayed consistent, and now it's a build on that.
Right,
you know
exactly.
I mean?
We needed to prove that we could do what we're doing right now. Get the Patreon, get consistent videos, consistent podcasts.
Yeah.
So now we got all that going. Now can we throw more on top of it? And that'll be the next challenge.
I cannot believe we did this for an hour. So I think it's Spotify that you can add like a little Q&A response thing. I'm gonna add one this week and see what people thought of the episode, because this is so funny that it's.
Do you
gone this long.
upload the podcast video to Spotify now after we talked about it?
I forgot that you mentioned that. No,
yeah. So
I haven't.
you could do it with this one, but
yeah, I'll try it.
I don't know if it's hard or if it works through Anchor or whatever.
I don't know either. I'll have to figure that out.
But yeah, let's powerhouse through a couple quick things to talk about.
Where are we going?
We're going movies.
Movies, all right.
Ooh, let's go to the movies.
Oh, I have a drink. You're touching your mic.
I'm not doing anything.
Oh, I can't reach it.
I'm right here.
Sorry.
Did
all
you
right,
start?
we're in it.
Oh,
yeah.
you started?
What's
I
happening,
thought you
dude?
didn't start it yet.
No.
Brett, I have taken it upon myself to watch some movies that only I watched.
Okay.
Other people did.
That's why it was taken upon yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, I
taken
got you.
upon me to myself.
Yes.
Brett,
What happened?
you know
dude?
our pal Zack Snyder over here
I do.
recently released 2 movies.
Yeah.
Rebel Moon, part 1 and part 2.
Yeah.
And they came out. First one, trash,
Yep.
burn it, throw it in the fire, never look at it again.
But that didn't keep Tim from watching part 2.
No, I was invested. It may
ready.
suck, but I had to know.
Yeah, I did know.
So they came out with part 2. Part 2 was a little bit better.
Yep.
A little bit better. It was a progression. It did some cool things. I even think I said it was a keeper.
Did you?
I think so. Because the second half was that much fun.
I think you did. Oh, yeah, because I remember thinking how crazy it is to say the first one's a sleeper and the second one's a keeper. Yeah.
But it's the weakest keeper I could ever
yes,
give.
that's
I
right.
still don't
That
recommend
does sound
it.
familiar.
So our buddy Zach here
Yeah.
announced a couple days ago he's going to be doing director's cuts of both part 1 and part 2.
Unbelievable.
Not only are they coming out August 2nd, both of them, he's renaming them to Chapter 1, Chalice of Blood, and Chapter 2, Curse of Forgiveness.
Okay.
And I'm going to watch them.
Why?
Brett, because I hate myself.
How long are they going to be?
I don't know. They're director's cuts. They might be even longer, which sucks because the first one...
Of course they're going to be.
I know, but I have to say that Zack Snyder's director's cuts are always better than the original.
I know, but you hated the first one.
I know, but it might make it better.
And you know it's going to be long because he gave them both subtitles.
I know.
As soon as they get like a part 1,
Yeah.
the retribution of King Justice.
Plus, it's a different
8 hours long.
It's a different name from the original part 1. The part 1 was like whatever it was, Rebel Moon, the Scavenger War, or whatever.
Oh, right.
So now they
we
have new
updated it.
titles.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, are these going to be the official ones? But now it makes me mad that mad?
Now it makes me mad.
Now it makes me mad
makes me mad.
that I wasted my time watching the first 2
Yeah.
when these director's cuts came
Bro,
out.
he's stealing your money.
Dude, I can't. I'm so mad because
I still love Zack Snyder though.
that's the thing. It's like I don't love him, but when I think about his director's cuts, I really enjoyed the Watchmen director's cut. That's a journey. That's like 4.5 hours.
That's wild.
Because that's got the Black Freighter.
Black Freighter, yeah.
That is the way
That
to
is
watch
very
that
good.
movie. And then Batman versus Superman director's cut again, much better.
Oh, that I didn't see.
Justice League Snyder cut also much better than the original. Like all of his all of his director's cuts are great.
And he's always done that. That's the thing. Like I respect his style.
Yeah.
You know, he's like
And I should have known better. I should have known. That
I
these
guess.
were
I mean,
coming.
we're in a new era where like it's Netflix stuff now. So and he didn't do one of like Army of the Dead, did he?
I don't know. Did you do one for Dawn of the Dead? I didn't see it if he did.
I think a director's cut does exist.
That was him, right? Who did
Yes.
Dawn of the Dead?
That was
Yeah.
the first Snyder movie I ever saw. And
Yeah.
I didn't realize it
300?
until years later.
He must have had one for 300.
I don't think so, actually. I feel like 300 was a one and done because it's just the story just is what it is.
Right. Like, I mean, you could have more blood and violence, but
Yeah. Gosh, I forgot that was him too.
yeah, I know he's had a pretty I like a lot of his movies.
Yeah.
I really do. So yeah, the fact that these exist, that they're coming out, I am so upset because the first one I never wanted to watch again.
Yeah, and now you're going to watch it even more than you watched the first one.
I know.
That's crazy.
Plus, how many? I don't even know. But my hope is that it's better. My complaints with the original, with the first one, I don't know how you can fix those.
That's.
in a
I was going to say,
director's cut.
is it possible that they're resolved in this?
The problem with part one is
Just looking at him rubbing.
I'm
his
just
eyes,
so because the first hour felt like the slowest hour of film I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, you know what would help it? An extra
What?
30 minutes.
Right, and that's the problem. But the second half was too quick. What you needed was more of the second half to give more time for all the
I
other
think he does
characters.
this intentionally. He's like, I'm going to cut this in ways that doesn't make sense, and then they're
then-
going to need the director's cut.
But for what purpose?
Just this.
To torture me?
It's for you.
For me?
Just you.
Dude, I don't know, because, all the director's cuts have proven to be better than the originals. And I don't understand, why not just come out with a good one to begin with?
See,
Because this isn't in theaters. This is on Netflix.
I know.
So
right.
it's
So just
it's just viewership numbers, maybe?
here's where you messed up again.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I'm your older brother.
Yes.
I try to teach you the best I can.
Sure.
You got to stay years behind what's current.
I do.
Because then when the cheaper versions of AAA games come out,
Yeah. The Game of the Year editions with all the DLC.
they're all cheaper and you haven't had a new console in 6 years, but
Yeah.
all of a sudden you got one.
Mm-hmm.
All the best games are $15.
Already out.
Haven't seen Rebel Moon? If I'm going to watch it, straight to director's cut.
Straight to the... Yeah,
This is what you get for being kept up, dude.
It's terrible.
I
It's a
know.
curse.
I don't know how else to show you the
How
way.
do you show support for something you enjoy? You can't, because you suffer.
what are you talking about?
Like, I enjoy Zack Snyder,
Yeah.
and I wanted these movies to be cool.
Yeah.
So I watched them when they came out to support them.
It is like supporting your friend's bad band. You're like, yeah, dude, I'll come for sure. For sure. Yeah.
Sure. And they were awful. And you're like, why?
They're like, how was it? And you're like, it was pretty good, man.
You played music.
It was so loud.
Yeah.
Good job with all the amps.
Yeah, good job. Lots of work went into your paint.
I don't lie to my friends about their sets. Just anyone who's listening with whom I've been in that situation, I'm not lying to you. Yeah.
So yeah, that's my curse. August 2nd.
I love it. You got it on your calendar. You're like, watch this stupid movie
Part
again.
1 and 2. I'm going to watch them back to back.
You are?
7. No. God, no. 7 hours.
I don't understand why you're so committed.
I gotta know, man.
Watch anything else.
I could.
I think you love these movies. I think in like 5 to 10 years, there's going to be a nostalgia built into the suffering.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna watch it every year.
Yeah, it's going to be an
yearly
annual
watch.
showing. You're going to start having a festival.
Yeah.
Like Collection Revolution presents
Rebel Moon.
Collection Rebel Moonshin. Collection Revolution, and I won't be invited,
No.
and then I'll hear from all your friends
Right.
how fun it was.
Yeah. Someday, Brett, I'll invite you to something. Yeah.
Well,
someday you'll deserve it.
I didn't watch that, and I'm not maybe I'll watch the director's cut with you. I heard some people say it wasn't that bad.
Director's cut? It hasn't even come out, Brett.
No, Tim.
Come on, man.
Use context clues to figure out what I'm talking about.
You know what else we need context clues for?
What?
I watched one more movie I got to talk about now because I don't want to think about it anymore.
Another one, huh?
Yeah.
Okay,
Dude,
ready.
all I do is watch bad movies.
Clearly.
So there was a movie that came out relatively recently. Relatively recently. In a Violent Nature.
Oh, yeah.
This is a movie about, it's a slasher film, but from
Yeah.
the perspective of the slasher.
Yes.
You follow them throughout the entire movie, and you just watch them do their slasher thing.
Which I think is cool in concept.
And that is exactly what it is, a concept movie. It is Skinamarink, but slasher.
Okay.
So you are following...
Still sounds kind of interesting to me.
It's so close to being cool. But man, it just doesn't deliver.
Dude, I'm going to post this clip and we're going to get...
You should. Because
trolled.
here's the problem with it.
I'm ready.
It does, and it's so funny because it perfectly emulates what a slasher film is from the other side. Because when you're watching a slasher film, you spend a lot of time with all these teenagers and they're having sex, having drugs, having babies, whatever you do.
Babies. What slashers are you watching?
Jason X, Triple X.
I don't think anybody has a baby in that.
Not yet.
Jason Triple X with Vin Diesel.
Yeah, that's my favorite. So while all that story's going on, instead you're just watching the killer walk through the woods. That's the movie.
I love the woods.
Sure, but
Am I a killer?
You are legitimately spending 10 minutes of just crunch, 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 crunch of him walking through the woods. And it sets the tone. And again, it's just like, imagine, how you always wonder, like, how long it takes Jason or Michael Myers to, like, they're like 10 miles away and they're like, how the heck did he get here? Sure. We're watching the footage of him walking there.
So that's cool.
That's the movie. It's them watching them walk
How
through
many,
those.
So does it, is it cool for, sounds like we're getting the hard questions answered in this movie.
Right.
Is it cool for like a while and then it loses its luster, or?
It is short bursts of cool excitement, crazy kills, and then another like 10 to 15 minutes of walking and doing nothing. So it is sprinkled throughout. So again, the first like 20 minutes, I don't think you see a kill until like 20, 30 minutes in.
Okay.
There is a kill like at some point early on, but you don't see it. It's off screen.
Okay.
So it's like, okay, is that what it's going to be like? But there's some kills later that I'm like, oh, they didn't shy away from this.
Interesting.
So those moments are really cool. Because
Okay.
I've seen a kill that I've never seen in anything before.
Oh, that's
and
impressive.
It's not worth the whole movie, but that scene alone was really cool. I was like, oh, this is going to be great. And then there's another 20 minutes of him walking. So the movie's like an hour and a half. And again, as a concept film, it's cool.
So it has a short film syndrome.
Yeah. Yep.
That's probably offensive.
You gotta think of a better name.
It sounds like something that would be awesome short form, but
Yep.
you don't need an hour and a half of it.
Exactly. If
Yeah,
it was
it's a
15
bummer.
minutes, it would be great. 15, 20 minutes.
Wow, that's short, huh?
Yeah, well, because, I mean, the walking is, again, it's fine for the first 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and you're like, okay, I've seen it. And then you're an hour into the movie, and you watch him walk again. It's like, okay, I get it. He's still just walking around.
Do you ever change perspectives?
There are a couple moments where you are, there's a point where they're telling the story of the killer,
sure.
and it's like all the people around a campfire, and so the camera's spinning around while they're telling the story. So the killer is around in that scene, but...
See, this still sounds kind of cool to me.
I can't recommend it. I would say it's a sleeper.
A sleeper?
Yeah, I would say, I can't touch my mic. I would say it is truly a sleeper because the payoffs are just not worth it.
Wow.
There's some pretty gruesome moments. The movie was NC-17.
Really?
Yeah, it was the first one I've ever seen in theaters.
It still is NC-17.
Yes.
Oh, you said was like it got changed.
Oh, no, sorry. When I viewed it, it was
and
always
it remains
will
so.
be. NC-17.
For violence?
Violence, yep.
Okay.
I mean...
Wow, NC-17 for violence?
Yeah, well, Terrifier, I guess, was unrated. It wasn't rated, so I assume that one's also NC-17-ish. But when I bought the tickets online, it said NC-17. But I would argue Terrifier is on the same level of violence, especially, I mean, the bedroom scene.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But, yeah.
That's wild. I don't think I knew that they even got rated that for violence. I thought that was like...
Yeah, I didn't think so either, but...
borderline pornographic.
Yeah, because there wasn't anything else other than violence. I mean...
Wow.
You don't see much of anything else, really.
No butts.
No butts.
No butts or like bare backs.
No, nothing.
No calves.
No calves.
That's good.
No cankles.
No shoulders.
No, oh, God, no.
Goodness gracious.
Dude, not in the grace of the Lord.
Not in front of the children.
No. But yeah, I got to say it's a sleeper. I was just very unimpressed with it.
That's a bummer. I am the guy who sees those like concept indie films and I'm like, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Can't wait to watch it.
You very well may love it.
No, dude.
It is a slow burn. But I compared to Skinamarink because Skinamarink is interesting on a surface level where it's like you got darkness, you got kids controlling the camera, you got some cool ideas. Sorry, I touched your knee.
It's cool.
And it just wasn't executed well.
Right.
Same thing with this. Although, I mean, cinematography is good. Like, there are good elements.
Okay.
But it wasn't enough for me.
Which one do you like better? You gave them both a sleeper, I think.
Yeah. In a violent nature, I'd say would be the choice
Okay.
if you had to watch the two.
I literally fell asleep during Skinamarink.
Yeah. I almost fell asleep during In a Violent Nature. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a cool title.
It is. Yeah.
Very cool title.
Cool title doesn't match the movie.
Well, it's violent and it's in nature.
That actually was perfect.
I'm just saying.
You're just saying. All right, that's all I got. Brett, you got to give one review of something.
Yeah, all right, let's go into video games real quick.
it!
Video games.
This past Sunday, had a day where I didn't really have to do anything.
Incredible.
It was unbelievable.
But how did that happen?
So I don't know, man. It just like finally there was a day where we didn't have to go anywhere. Saturday was super busy, but it was all really fun.
Yeah.
And then, Sunday we didn't have anything going on. So I got a bunch of stuff done that like I needed to do for music stuff. And I didn't have to do anything, but like I edited our videos and like I did some stuff. And then in the afternoon, I was like, I'm going to play video games for at least 2 hours.
Yes, at least 2.
Yeah, and so I started Hellblade II.
Oh.
Senua's Saga.
Yeah.
If anyone is not privy, Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice.
Yes.
I don't know when it came out. I'd probably be surprised by the date, 21.
20, I'm going to say 17.
It was that long ago?
I think so.
That makes more sense, I guess. But
Sacrifice.
the thing that blows my mind about that...
2017?
Wow.
Nailed it, baby.
Nice work. So that game's 7 years old?
Yeah. It took them 7 years to make the sequel. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it is. Okay, so here's what's crazy is Senua's Sacrifice looks incredible.
Yes.
Like some of my favorite graphics I've seen in a game in forever. And I loved everything about it. You play as this woman who I still don't really know how to describe like who like what people group she's of or like I don't know where it is.
She's like a Viking, isn't she?
Yeah, I guess it's Viking era,
like
but you're
Nordic or
Nordic. I think is accurate because you are dealing with like Odin and stories of Loki and things
Celtic
like that.
culture.
Celtic.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I keep saying like tribal, but I didn't know exactly where you are in the game. But I mentioned that to say like all the visuals are so like striking, and the enemies you fight are like they have like bone head dresses and just very tribal looking, like woodland looking, and it looks so amazing, and it borders a horror game experience just because of some of the imagery, and everything is so like up close and in your face when it's happening. And I really loved the pacing of it because there's a lot of space between like fights and like really big plot point movements. And in the time in between, the landscape is just kind of open. Like I wouldn't call it an open world game, but by any means, but you can explore a little bit, and it just looks great. And so I loved that aspect of it so much. And
But
no, I will say no buts. So that's how I felt about the first game, and I say that walks directly into 2.
I'm glad that that continues, because that was such a strong point of the first game. It's like if you wear it with headphones, or if you listen with headphones, especially like hearing all the voices around.
Yes.
And, the environments were like gross and disgusting and like dirty, and like I feel like I'm stepping in mud watching her like crawl through it.
And this starts specifically in a way where there's a big like action cinematic at the beginning. You don't play for, I mean, it's probably 15 full minutes of like, there is a recap you can skip.
I might watch it. It's been a while.
Yeah, I wanted to watch the whole thing anyways because there are cinematics that go along with it. And then the beginning of the game is a cinematic, and then there's a moment where like you don't quite have control yet, but you can tell you're in the third person view you're going to be in. And so Senua in the first game, she experienced this loss and isolation, and she's going on this sort of hero's journey. And you deal with sort of a psychosis where it is recommended that you play the game with headphones on, and you're hearing voices come from all angles, and it's constant. And you would think it would drive you crazy, but it somehow works. And that all stays true in the second game, which is great. Immediately, it looks great again. There are a couple new, but not wildly so. I'm only 2 hours deep, but fighting mechanics. And that was one of my favorite things because the game has it's got this thing where you can't really fight outside of the moments when you're actually fighting, which is to say, like, you can't draw your sword or anything like that. You have to be approached and attacked by enemies. And it puts you in this very cool, I got to use the word again because it applies, but very cinematic environment where the camera angles and everything just add so much to the action. And that stays true in this one. And it starts off with a very cool sequence where you have gotten off of this ship and there were slaves, and you're coming across the different slavers, and like they're attacking you, they're throwing stuff at you, you can deflect stuff. Like,
that's cool.
It's very, very cool.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm only a couple hours in, but it feels like a lot of all that was good in the first one has remained in this one, and I've met one creature that was like terrifying to look at.
Sick.
And there's, the character building is already really cool because so far it's Senua, and I have 2 other people that I'm interacting with regularly, which feels like already more than you do in the first one.
Right.
And so the story building right now is very, very intriguing, and they foreshadow this creature, and the reveal is like unbelievable. And if you've seen the trailer or any of the gameplay, I'll just say it lives up to that. Like, it looks great.
Good.
And I'm really excited to see what other kind of creature design we get throughout it. And it always just gets me all like, I just want to like watch that show Vikings, and I want to, like, just there's something about this like kind of I don't know, like raw primitive warfare and just being in nature and going on this like journey.
Yeah.
And you barely have anything on you. And
see, that's cool.
Like I mean like no weapons, protection, things like that. And you're just surviving. And I think, like you said, you could kind of feel the environments in the first one. The whole game just feels like you're there. And it's so great. If you have Xbox, it's on Game Pass. That's where I'm playing it. I don't know what the game goes for. I did hear, and we talked about this before, I'll report back, but I did hear it's very short.
Yes.
So if it's like $70, that is maybe kind of a bummer, but
I would be very surprised if it was 70.
Yeah, I feel like if it's shorter than like 10 hours. But the game looks incredible. I mean, it feels like
$50.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it would So far, I can say it'd be worth it just based on playing the first game, and I believe the first one's still on Game Pass too. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. If you haven't played the first one, I can't recommend that enough. That's probably one of my favorite games I've played in the past couple of years. It's unbelievable. So I'll report back on that. But so far, absolutely a keeper. If you played the first one, can't recommend this one enough. And I don't think I've heard a bad review of it. So
no, I think everyone who's played it has enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I hope to play it this week.
Yeah.
I think I can get through it in a session or two because from what I've heard, it's very short.
Yeah.
So.
Give yourself a couple hours just because the very beginning is like you're sitting and watching.
Yeah.
So just make sure you have time to get into it. But
Right.
a lot of the controls have stayed the same and everything. But it's, very, very good. The one thing I don't love about it is the way. So there's an ongoing story throughout the game where you have to find these like hidden rune like towers or something.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. It's just not a super fun collectible. Do you remember those?
I remember it in the first one. Yeah, just like
I think it's like in the first one, it's like something circular, and you go to it, and it's just a voiceover. It tells you a story.
yeah.
And it's cool. Like the story adds to it, but it just doesn't feel like worth all of the navigating the big, like vast landscape to find like
it.
a rock and then have it be like Odin saw that she was going the other direction. And you have to stay in the vicinity.
Yeah, to hear it.
Which drives me crazy. I've talked about this before. I hate proximity activated audio in games.
Just keep it playing while you're walking around.
And
That's
this
it.
isn't even like a cassette or anything.
Right.
It's like a stick.
There's no logic to it.
There's no logic. Like, bro, just let it
It's
play.
like a talking stick.
Yeah, like while I'm running around, it's just nature. It's
Yep.
just like voice from the skies. Like
She has voices in her head. Like there's no.
right. Take it with you, bro.
excuse.
But that's a petty small thing. Overall, the game is like it already feels like a masterpiece. So I can't wait to get more through it. And that's all I got.
That's it. There was all the game announcements recently, but we are way past time, so I'm not going to talk about it this week.
You sure?
Yeah, there's too much to talk about.
All right, we'll do a lot of games next week, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, we love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode as wild as it was. Wild might not be the word, but
it was wild, Brett.
it was pretty wild.
Just like Sonic music. Had to do it at the end
I
again
know.
because it was I remembered.
That's all right. The one last week was funny. That's another thing you're gonna like if you ever go back and listen to them all.
Yeah.
Is the placement of the Sonic music. I think is pretty funny. You should go. Do you still go to sleep to like watching videos?
Yeah.
You should just put the Keep Up on.
Can I put it on my TV?
Absolutely, it's on YouTube.
We don't have all our first like every podcast on YouTube.
No, but there's a ton of them.
Yeah.
Just do the ones from this year.
Just no, I gotta go beginning. I gotta go old.
Beginning. Those ones. Oh, we didn't put those on.
We have like episode 6, I think.
Do we?
But we called it like Vodcast 1.
Oh my god.
But it's podcast like 6.
What's wrong with us? I want to make a documentary of our wretched like history of trying different things.
We should do like a documentary on us
That would be funny.
at like our 10-year. We're close to our 10-year, I think.
Yeah, maybe next year. 2015 sounds familiar to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, next year might be. That's so funny. Yeah, that's pretty funny. I don't know. I like the moments where we like chronicle what we've done before because it's just I don't know. I just think that's fun. But what were we talking about?
We're at the end of the episode.
Oh yeah, we're done. So hey, listen, if you want to hang out with us, you can find us at the Keep Up Podcast on all socials. That's TikTok. I almost said Amazon, Instagram, and YouTube.
Yep.
You can get yourself some extra bonuses at patreon.com/thekeepup. You can get a bonus podcast, 2 extra videos a month. And
those lost, forgotten Let's Plays.
Oh, did you post them?
I'm going to post them this week.
All right. Yeah. Tim's got some content that, what's the word? Oh, subscription starts at $1 a month. Mm-hmm. So there, even at that tier, you get the stuff that Tim's finding, some bonus stuff on there. He found an old Let's Play that apparently I thought we posted and never did. So that's going.
Did
on
I tell you what it
Patreon.
was yet?
No.
Should I tell people now? Do you want to know?
Sure.
Sure. It was D.
You never posted
we never posted our playthrough of D. I know.
That was one of our best playthroughs ever.
So it was uploaded to Cheddar Fingers. It has titles. They just were never public. But I think we just stopped doing Cheddar Fingers because we had nothing else after that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. D never got posted.
That was one of the best. Like, I remember it being very funny.
Oh,
because
yeah.
the game's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yep.
You never uploaded
4
D?
parts. 4 parts.
I'm going to tell you guys right now, $1. These videos are worth seeing for $1.
Yeah, I might give it away for free like after a month because people need to see these. But I don't know where to post them.
We can do that too. I mean, we could put them on
The Keep Up channel.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Gosh, that is so funny.
I know. Crazy.
That's ridiculous. So patreon.com/the keep up. If you want some extra bonuses, check those out. Tim, tell everyone where they can find your other stuff.
You guys can find me at Collection Revolution on Instagram, on TikTok, on Twitch, on YouTube, on Threads, on X, on wherever else social media lies. That's where I am residing under my fake name of foolishness. Brett!
Foolishness. What?
Where can everybody find you and your new fantastic music video?
Yeah. So you can find me at, I'm just going to give you my music page this week. Sounds Like ATA. You can find me on all platforms. I'm on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. And I just on Monday posted my new music video. It's easily the best video I've ever done. And the new single came out on Tuesday. It's called Hubie, Keep It Hot. If you could watch that and listen to that, that would be incredible. Do the liking and sharing. I cannot, this goes for the Keep Up too. If there's anything you guys want to do to support us, I can't overstate the value of sharing stuff. That means the world. So if you like the song, that would be rad. Again, that's at Sounds Like ATA. Or if you're searching on a streaming platform, if you look up Hubie, I think it comes up. But Animatronic the Abolisher on all streaming platforms.
Does that count on YouTube if I type it in?
On YouTube, what, Hubie?
Yeah.
That's probably just going to be the movie. But if you do Hubie, Keep It Hot, I'm pretty sure it comes up.
Okay, I'm going to do
Although I'm curious, like what happens if you just type in Hubie?
Hubie.
If it comes up, that would be insane.
Hubie Halloween.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't expect it to be first. And it just came out like Tuesday. So.
Lots of clips.
Or Monday. Yeah,
you got this lady.
What is she doing? How come hers comes up?
Only Use Me Blade's girlfriend realizes she's failed in life when a blade is pressed, and that's the title.
What in the world?
Oh, blade is passed. I'm sorry.
Oh, that makes it make sense.
I don't know.
All right, I gave all the information. We're leaving. Tim's going to do what's called End Babble. Tim,
this guy's crying watching Hubie Halloween.
Your theme, crying.
He looks sad. I don't know.
He does look sad. Your theme is Duct Tape Chalupa.
You got it.
Bye, guys. Love you.
The 2 hungry bears arrive at Taco Bell very sad because all they found in their picnic basket was duct tape. A humongous piece of duct tape wrapped up in a giant little ball. And you may ask, what is a giant little ball? Well, imagine a little ball, but bigger. And these bears were starving. And they walk into Taco Bell and say, roar, because they can't speak English because they're bears. And the people working at Taco Bell says, ay, my chalupa. And they throw the chalupa in fear. And the bears throw the tape in fear. And it combines to create the duct tape flavored chalupa. A feast that even a beast won't use yeast to reast. And so I'll leave you with this. Don't go to Taco Bell too late, because you get all the leftover meat from the morning, and it's just sloppy slurry that is just left there for you to stare and cry, because it's like, this isn't good meat. This is just sloppy Joes. So don't eat it late at night. Make your own tacos.